As part of the Holland Park Transformation Project, we are conducting a series of interviews with people who attended the West Ward School, which used to stand in the middle of the block that is now Holland Park. So to begin, would you tell us your name?
Elizabeth KEENE, K-E-E-N-E.
Okay. And when did you attend the West Ward School?
I was about 5.
Okay, so that would have been probably 1936.
Right.
Okay, and you spent kindergarten through 6th grade at West Ward.
Yeah, it's enough when I went on up to, junior high.
Okay. When you went to West Ward, where were you living?
On Austin Avenue.
Austin, okay. So that was a good walk. You walked to school.
Yeah, we had to.
Do you remember who you walked with? Like brothers and sisters or friends from the neighborhood?
Twins, more twins, Melissa and Anita.
Okay.
I don't know their last name, but I know that.
That might have been Taurus. But I know who you're talking about.
Oh, you do? You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That's
they're
where I
younger.
went to school, walked to school with.
Okay. Can you remember, on just a regular day in school, elementary school, what kind of things you did?
Well, I'll tell you, when I got here, I was writing, and the kindergarten was printing. But I had to, by them putting me back, I had to go with the printing.
Okay.
Because when I was in Den Harbor going to school, I went to a country school, and then I went, when I stayed with my grandmother, and because I was born on Butternut Street, and right around the corner, it was another school. When after I stayed with her, then I went to that school. And so, and when I come here, at West Ward, they put me back in a year. And then they was printing, and I had to print too.
So you were in Benton Harbor?
That's where I was
First.
born.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you were, how old were you when you moved to Albion? Can you remember?
About 5.
5? Okay. At West Ward, do you remember who any of your teachers were?
Yes, Mrs. Holmes was one.
Okay.
Mrs. Biggs was one.
Okay.
And then, the other one was,
Did you have Maddie Howard?
Yes.
Who later was Maddie Vest?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 of them. That's pretty good. Do you remember any special activities you had in any of your classes in any year?
Yeah, I don't know the year, but a friend of mine, her name was Evelyn Johnson, and when she came to Albion, me and her got to be friends, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And she went to, when I took her with me, when I went to West Ward, and she come to West Ward, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we was only 2 blacks that went to Battle Creek to camp. And in the camp, all the rest of the schools, they was up to date of their teachers they had one teacher, Evelyn and myself. I had to have arithmetic teacher because I was good in arithmetic. She had a study teacher because she was good in study. So we had two teachers to teach us.
This was at camp?
This is at camp.
Okay.
Yes, this is at camp. And that was that. We stayed, I don't know whether it was a week or a week and a half, something like that.
Do you remember where this camp was?
In Battle Creek.
In Battle Creek?
Yeah, because when I was driving to school, I used to take children from the school here over there to the camp.
To the camp, okay. Because I know
I can't remember it, but I know.
Yeah, I went in 5th grade. And
Did you?
Yeah, and it was called Clear Lake Camp.
Well, it could have been that.
Okay.
Because it did have a lake.
Okay, that's probably the same one. Do you remember or have impressions of anybody at the school other than the teachers? Like, do you know who the custodian was? The janitor?
No.
Okay. Did you ever have a substitute teacher come in or visiting teachers?
No, I can't remember.
When we were talking before this, you had mentioned when we were talking about your painting, you had mentioned that there was an art teacher that came from, was it from the high school?
Yeah, she was from the high school.
Okay, how did that work?
Well, she came to all the schools. She had a day to come to all the schools.
Okay.
And teach us, art,
Yeah.
And she was the one that had us to draw the pictures on the walls.
You had also mentioned something about her sending you to the college or taking you to the college.
This was when I was in junior high.
Oh, that was later. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that time there was war, and the art teacher had us to draw. You could draw anybody you wanted to draw in the class. And this one boy drew my picture, and they had this during the war. They had this woman that talked on the radio. I can't think of her name, but she was Japanese.
Okay.
And when he got through painting my picture, I looked like the Japanese lady. So what they did, they took the picture. It was so good. They took the picture and put it down where you walk into the school on the right-hand side. And hung it up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When you were at Westward, do you remember, were there any like groups or clubs that kids could belong to? Some people mentioned safety patrol, but were there any other things you recall?
No, yes, I can recall when you go out and play in the wintertime. We had a game where we said, pile on.
Okay.
If you get there in the first and then pile on, you're going to keep walking. Because everybody else is piling on, keeping you warm.
Okay,
That's
so that was at recess maybe?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Do you remember what other things you had to play on? Like swings?
Oh, yeah.
What else did you have?
We had all the rest of the stuff of teeter-totter and all that children have.
Okay, teeter-totter. All right, I have to ask you this. Do you remember the merry-go-round?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And when you were out playing, boys and girls just played together?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. All right. Let's switch to food. What do you remember about lunch at school at Westward? Did you walk, since you lived on Austin Ave, I'm gonna guess you didn't walk home for lunch, or did you? Or did you bring your lunch to school?
No, but mostly, no, We did, I'll tell you what we did when I was in junior high.
Okay.
They had a place down where you could go and get potato chips and different stuff down there. If you didn't bring your lunch, you could go down there and buy it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I can remember. But the other...
In elementary, when you were
Right,
real little,
right,
you don't
right.
remember?
Well, they fed us
Okay.
cookies and different stuff.
In school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And chocolate milk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Do you remember them, maybe not at lunchtime, but like for a snack? Did you have any kind of snack?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You remember what that consisted of?
Yeah. One thing, the sugar cookies, the one with the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one.
And probably milk then.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
had milk, chocolate milk, and white milk.
Okay. About the building itself, and I asked this, but we were all young when we were there. But do you remember anything about the building? First of all, in terms of the atmosphere, was it cheerful, gloomy, dark, comfortable, cold? Remember?
No, it was comfortable.
Okay. Was it cheerful or?
Well, yeah. We had picnics and all things like that.
Okay.
We went out and played basketball.
When at the end of the school year, do you remember it was like a picnic? They call it field day,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd have games. And
Mm-hmm.
you have any memory of that?
Yeah.
All right. So, in addition to the building itself being cheerful, did you ever notice anything about the building, like a loose brick or one of those handrails or something that needed to be fixed, or was it always okay?
No, it was always okay.
Okay. So, switching from the building, do you have any memory of the books that you got?
Yeah, we had, just like I told you, the teachers that Evelyn and I had. I had the arithmetic book,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a spelling book.
Do you remember if ever getting brand new books at West Ward?
No, I can't remember that.
Okay. Now, did you ever go into the basement?
Yeah, that's where I drew the picture.
Okay, let's talk about how did it happen that you were drawing the pictures that were going to be in the basement?
Well, to tell the truth, I had been doing art really along with doing the art fair at Westport.
Okay, so they had an art fair.
Huh?
You said they had an art fair?
No, I said I did art fair,
Oh, okay.
plus I did art at home.
Okay.
I did a picture of, I saw it in the paper about talent. You got talent.
Mm-hmm.
You send them a picture. And
Okay.
I think his name was, he was played a thing like a piano, but he had a thing in his hand. In both hands.
Vibraphone?
Yeah, and I drew him
Mm-hmm.
and sent it to him. And he sent me a letter back and said that I had talent.
Mm-hmm.
But I never did, do no more.
This person that you're talking about, was he a famous
Yeah,
band
his
leader?
name was, he was a famous band.
Was it Lionel Hampton?
That's him.
You painted Lionel
Mhm.
Hampton?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
And he actually sent something back to you?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Okay. So, what did you draw that was in the basement? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Or how
But-
many?
But I was crazy about. I was thinking what it was. I was wondering, was it a horse? Because I was crazy about horses
Mm-hmm.
at that age,
Mm-hmm.
And so it could have been a horse, and it could have been a person. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And you think there may have been as many as 4 of your
It
paintings?
was. I don't think so.
No?
It might have been 2.
Okay.
Because I was on the end, over to the left, and the other children was going down this way,
Oh.
to the right.
Do you-
Right of me.
Okay. So, do you remember who else paintings down there?
No, but what they call him, Raymond.
Raymond Collins?
Yeah, because he asked me, did I remember when we painted down in the basement
Mm-hmm.
there at West Ward? And I told him yes. And he said, do you still paint?
Mhm.
Go on. I said, it's been a long time since I painted.
Yeah.
I said, they tore it down. I said, but I never did hear any more about the paintings down there. I said, I guess they just tore the whole thing down.
So you did paintings, and then they hung your paintings on the walls in the basement? You didn't
No.
paint directly on the wall?
Yeah, we painted on the wall.
Okay. And you said you were on the left, and there were other children besides
Yeah.
Raymond?
Right,
You remember?
on down.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Any
how
idea
many.
how many?
No, I don't remember.
But several, you'd say?
Mm.
Okay, because the way I remember it, it was like small murals painted right on the wall itself.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, that's good. All right, my last year at West Warwick was in 1952-53. So, and you were 10 years ahead of me. Do you remember when they were talking about closing West Warwick?
No, not really.
This would have been 1953.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay. Let's go all the way back. You said you were born in Benton Harbor.
Mhm.
Now, had your parents always live there, or did they move to Benton Harbor from someplace else?
My father, that's where he was born in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
And his family, his sisters and his mother and his father was there, and they moved to Benton Harbor.
Okay.
And my mother met my father, and she moved from Alvin when they started dating,
Uh-huh.
and got married and went to Ben Harbor. That's where I was born.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, what was your father's name?
Robert Eugene Keene.
King. And earlier, I forgot what we were talking about, but you mentioned that somebody in your family had a restaurant or something?
My grandfather, when we first came here to Elgin,
Mhm.
we were going to stay at his house on Elgin Street, 808 North Elgin Street.
Okay.
We were going to stay at his house, but he had bought a restaurant in Lansing, and he was there with my aunt. I had two aunts, and my cousins was there. And so we had, because he had his house rented out.
Okay.
So we left and went down to my grandmother's gallery on Chestnut Street.
Okay.
And so we stayed, and that's where I went to school.
Okay.
Westward, started Westward School.
Okay. So what other family did you have in Albion? What were their names?
Well, we had 4 Coleman boys
Okay.
married, 4 Galloway girls.
Okay. So
So I had plenty of cousins
uh-huh.
and double cousins. My mother was a double, and my uncles, and they was all double cousins.
Okay.
See, because they daddy and their mother married, so it was double cousins. So we had a lot of kin.
Yeah. Now Coleman, wasn't there a
Well-
restaurant or something that was owned by Coleman in Albion?
Not that I know of my husband and I, but that's been years ago. After what they call it got broke down.
Yeah, Westward.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might have.
'Cause,
I don't know nothing about him.
When
I
I
know
was
I know he had a barber shop where he did hair.
mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
You remember where that was located?
Well, yeah, at his not at his house, but in behind his house he had a barber shop.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because I remember when I was like 5 or so, it was like a bar or something that was called Coleman's, and I thought it was right on the corner of Albion Street and Washington. Yeah, later on it was Bo Dick's.
Mm-hmm.
It was a place mostly for the younger people by then.
Mm-hmm.
But I seem to recall my uncle taking me in there with him when I was real little. I couldn't even get up on the stool. I was too little.
Right.
Yeah. But I thought it was a Coleman, so I wanted to ask you
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Well, they got this picture down here, and cause he's a rabbi.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. When you went to, you talked a little bit about being in junior high,
Mm-hmm.
and so what was that like? Being you went to Washington Gardner up on
Mm-hmm.
Michigan Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your experience like there?
It was nice. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember any of your teachers there? Because I know it was from 7th grade through 12th grade.
I'm not too good at
Names.
names,
Mm-hmm.
but I know. If I was, yeah. I had an algebra teacher. I had a history teacher, and that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
And we know you had an art teacher.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember anything about your experiences with your art in high school?
Well, they sent me to over to the college,
Mm-hmm.
and the building where I had to go. You know the big church they got there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the building sit crossed over there,
Mm-hmm.
where I had to go.
And you took an art class up there?
Uh-huh.
Was that for like 1 year or just a semester? How
But I
long?
don't know how long it was, but
Mhm.
I knew I went, you know. They sent me there.
Okay. And so after graduation, did,
I just went to the 10th grade.
okay, well after
Top of the 10th grade.
okay, well after you left that, did you stay in Albion
Oh yeah, I've been here
ever since? Yeah. And I'm still here too. uh, so, what kind of things did you do then?
Oh, after I got wrong? Good. That's my oldest son right there.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the reason why I had to quit.
Okay.
The 10th grade.
Yeah.
And yes, I drove. I was first black to drive the school bus.
Is that right? Okay.
You remember Tim Uncle?
Oh yeah.
Well, he's around my age. He told me, he said, Liddy, said they looking for somebody to drive the bus. And I say, he said, I told him about you because I knew you knew how to drive a truck and all that, you know, and everything. Say, why don't you go and put your application in and talk to Cliff? And he told me where Cliff office was at. And so I went, and so Cliff, he wanted to know had I had any tickets and all that. I said, no. He said, how do you think why do you think you can drive a school bus? I said, why do you think I can't?
So, yeah.
I said, why do you think I can't? And so he told me, well, go down to Secretary of State and get your chauffeur license, okay? So I went, and I failed the first time because it was so many, and then, you know, I failed. So the girl gave me 2 books, and she told me ones I failed and everything, and told me to go home and study. And so I did. And when I come back, and she gave me some more papers to fill out, and I did. And she gave me my chauffeur license. And I said, how do you know I was going to? She said, well, you only missed one. That's the reason why I knew you were going to get it, you know. So I got the chauffeur license. And then after I got the chauffeur license, Cliff sent me to Kalamazoo, to the college, and to go to school. So I went to school, drove to school, and did it. I'm the only one sitting up in there with license. The rest of them didn't have no license. See?
So
But I think Cliff thought maybe I wouldn't pass. See? When I went down there to get the license, you know. But I did. And so when I got my papers to go after the class was over with, and sick or going on vacation.
Mm.
And I would go every day, and something like that was happening. Tim would walk in, that was over there to the school right across from, that's where Cliff was at. What's the name of the school over there?
Austin?
Right across, yeah, off Austin. Right?
Yeah, Austin School.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And so he said, Lady, did you get the job? I said, no, I can't catch up with Cliff. And he said, go and I'm gonna give you Rap number. And you call Rap and he'll get you the job.
Mm-hmm.
So I called Rap, and Rap told me, he said, come down to the bus stop about 2 o'clock. And I did. And he said, now you pick out any bus driver you want to ride with. And the one I picked out at this time, see, we was living in the country. And I picked out one Land, my youngest son, and Lloyd, bus driver. Okay.
Yeah.
I picked her out because she knew me.
Mm-hmm.
She knew my boys. And I rode with her.
Okay.
And on the way coming back from the ride, I had wrote down every turn she made and everything so I would know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I was what you call her, you know,
Probationary?
yeah, for
A trial period?
yeah, no, for I to be take somebody's place when they were sick.
Oh, like a sub.
Yeah, sub. See. And so on our way back, she said, Lady, I'm gonna stop and smoke me a cigarette. And I want you to come on and take the bus back to the lot. Now, I've never been on the bus before, okay? But she showed me everything to do. And so when I got back to the bus lot, I pulled the bus in, turned in her spot where she parked. She said, just black. Wait a minute, she said, just like a pro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so and I stayed a bus driver 14 and a half years.
The Ralph that you were talking about, was that Ralph Spence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That was it.
Yeah, he was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a question for Ms. Bridges?
When you walked to school, you probably were walking by the factories, the Malibu and the Gale. Do you remember what that felt like or smelled like? Or?
Yeah, I heard a lot of things that happened to some of the children that was going across over to Westward had got hit by the train. Uh-huh. Yeah, because we had to, especially when I stayed on Austin Avenue, we had to cross the train track. Yeah.
So that story was told to you about what had happened. And,
But yeah, to some other children.
Yeah.
Going because we didn't have anybody, you know, to you know, walk us across or whatever. Uh-uh.
I've noticed when we've talked to people that the parents gave warnings about the railroad tracks because of accidents that had occurred.
Right.
But hardly anyone has said anything about having warnings about that river that was there, about playing near the river or playing in the river. There wasn't that same kind of apprehension from the parents?
No. No, we just, when we walked walk across the tracks and walk across the river, you know, what's it called, the bridge. And we never had anything happen when I was going.
No, it's interesting, because I don't recall there ever being an incident at the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was, I used to sit on the bridge.
Did you really?
Yeah, and just watch, but there was never an accident that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the railroad track generated real fear. The river, not at all.
When you were in junior high and probably about the time World War II was happening, do you remember any activities that kids did to save stuff for the war effort, recycle, drives like that they might have encouraged, buy stamps or anything?
No.
Oh yeah, what was it they used to, like aluminum foil or aluminum, they wanted us to save that.
It was something, some canned goods, I'm trying to
The
think.
cans.
Any metal, I know they say.
Some canned goods. I'm trying to think what it was.
And I know around the country, I don't know about Albion, they save grease
Yeah,
also.
yeah. We did that, I remember that.
So when you were living in Albion, you know, from junior high on, the town was a lot busier, a lot more happening downtown.
Yeah.
And did you go to movie theaters here?
Oh yeah, in fact, by me being the only child, and I was crazy about the movies, I would walk and go to, what you call them, the Albion.
The little Albion theater?
Yeah, that one, and Bone,
Oh,
yeah, by myself.
And do you remember that because you were African American, that there were certain places you had to sit in the theater?
No, but I had a friend, she was in a club right down there, and she took me to this club, and I can't think of the name of it, but the manager told her she can't come in, said because our members, you know, don't want, you know, to come in. So he said you can come in, but she can't. And so she said, well, if I can come in, I don't want to come in. I'll go with Nick, you know. So we left there. I never did try to go back there. And yeah, we had a lot of things like that, really.
yeah. Did you ever run in, do you remember Sullivan's, the ice cream place that used to be right down here?
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember ever going in there and whether or not you could sit and eat or not? Anything like that?
No, not really.
Okay.
I know about Bone Theater.
Yeah. Having to sit upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
But then, when they changed it around, well, we could go up there. I mean, not go, when we could go downstairs.
Yeah. I still
Upstairs was the best.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all said that. That's why we laugh.
Yeah, upstairs was the best.
Yeah, still is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have anything else, Miss Bridges? Okay.
Miss Bridges, I want to ask one question. Your mother, did she work outside of the home, or did she?
She worked in Battle Creek over to the the soldiers' place over there.
Fort Custer.
Fort Custer. Yeah, she worked there.
What kind of work did she do there?
What I don't really know, but I know she worked there.
How'd she get there? Did she take the train, or
No, she
did she drive?
In fact, she was a chauffeur here in Albion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had chauffeur license when I was young and everything. Yeah, she drove herself over there to Battle Creek.
When you were growing up, do you remember recreationally going to the Idlewild park over on the lake with your family at all?
Idlewild?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It was a kind of a resort.
Right. I knew some people. I had never been there. I had cousins that used to go.
Mm-hmm.
Used to go when they had the clubs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They went. But and my stepfather, he said that he was going to take me, but he passed away before he went. And by the way, he was a Tuskegee Airman. In fact, I was supposed to bring some of his plaques now.
Who was your uncle?
My stepfather.
Oh, who was your stepfather?
Linus Holt.
Was he?
Okay.
Yes.
In fact, he married, my mother and him married when I was 12. So when I'm 84 now.
Well,
So he before he died, he was in his 90s. He raised me from 12 on.
I did a program about veterans and did a video interview of him
Finest.
with his brother Robert.
Right.
Together they sat down for an interview with us.
Right.
And when we were at Tuskegee at the airport last spring, we looked up his name in the book that's there in the book of the airmen. So,
Right.
and we were able to find his name in the book.
Right. I got all kind of plaques that I'm going to bring down here in the history.
Mm-hmm. That would be
room.
here. That would be in this room.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
So he was okay. So you just learn something every day.
Right.
So and he raised you. I know he came to Albion from somewhere in Kansas or somewhere, didn't he? Or in the Midwest somewhere.
Well, see, he came here and he wanted to work at the mail place, and because he went to college and paid for his own college.
Mm-hmm.
And but they wasn't paying good enough, so that's when he went to the mail room, see, and started working at the mail room. And he got trophies from the hospital. He got down at the mail room. He got trophies from down there, and especially when he was in the Army.
Well, his brother Robert told me that he came here to stay with Finus because he thought they wouldn't be able to find him for the draft. And so, but they found him. So they both had their military story to tell. But Robert said that he came here to kind of hide out for hoping they wouldn't find him.
Right. My son over there too was in the service.
You served, where did you serve?
Vietnam.
Did you?
Yeah, he's my oldest. First one.
What years were you there?
Uh,
If you remember.
70, 71.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, we interviewed a lot of people and tried to get the Vietnam soldiers to come in, but they weren't as ready as the World War II soldiers were to talk about their experiences quite yet.
Well, maybe now they might be out
You know,
there.
I think it takes that kind of time of being able to kind of have some rocking chair time where you have time to kind of put the story together.
Right.
I used to say the World War II veterans had their story already told. It took about an hour to tell it, and they could just start and tell it from the beginning to the end.
Right.
And the Korean War soldiers, it took about 5 hours to get their story coming because it just hadn't, like fine wine, it just hadn't had its time yet.
Right.
And the Vietnam soldiers just weren't ready to talk at that time. I was doing that. Finus was still living, and three of the guys were still living at that time from the
Well,
Tuskegee.
Excuse me, but what I think it is that the older you get, you know that your time might be running out, and so they figure that somebody need to hear their story before they do, you know.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
He could have got, what was that you could have got and not go into the service?
I could have got a deferment.
Yeah, because he was in school.
But no, I mean, if I don't know, if you talk it up now, maybe the Vietnam vets might be a little bit more.
I would still be ready to listen to that group of. We interviewed about 80 World War II veterans altogether, and a
in
number.
this area.
They had, the criteria was you had to serve and to have, served in the military, and you had to have been from Albion.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
excuse me. He had to go and leave from Marshall, over in Marshall.
Oh, you signed in at Marshall?
Yeah, I was drafted and had to go to Marshall, and that's where we left from, going to Detroit.
So you came back through Albion on the train with the group?
No.
Did you go to Fort Wayne first?
Yeah, we went to
Did
Fort
you?
Wayne.
And
Right.
then did you go to Knox for training?
Fort Knox.
Yeah, that's the same circuit I went.
That was just about everybody's
Yeah.
route at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my time too, because I didn't go to Vietnam, but I was in the Army from 63 to 66.
Oh.
And I know I just went to the post office, and I was a volunteer. And then we went to Fort Wayne and went straight to Fort Knox. Yeah.
I was drafted though.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up, you have some samples of her
yes.
artwork. We can get that on
Can we
camera.
get that on the camera? I can.
Okay. We'll get the picture and the artist together.
Okay, let me draw back here so I can get this in.
I don't know what happened to that cut.
to get this so I can get a.
Can you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Angle it from my camera. So it picks up over here. Okay. Well, thank you for
Now,
coming in.
I'm going to take a guess that that's one of your children. Is this going to be you?
No,
Yeah, who's it?
that's her husband.
Oh, that's your husband.
This is my
Okay.
husband.
Aye.
Okay.
And his name?
His name was George Bridges,
George Bridges.
Robert Bridges.
Okay.
Very good.
We're good? All right. I'll bring it back to him.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Thank
Well,
you
this
for
was a
making that
wonderful-
run for us.
No problem.
Wonderful interview. I always love it when we get sort of the side stories. You know, the.
Oh, yeah.
I come from a community where I'm a little related to everybody, either by, we had cousins, double cousins, and kissing cousins.
Yeah.
So, but it, I always find, I was the historian here in this room
Oh, yeah.
for a few years ago. It's been about 10 years since I retired from here, but people would come in, and I learned very quickly that everybody had a connection to somebody in Albion, and so it was probably the best part of Valor to just love everybody
Right.
and not take any chances.
Well, she didn't tell you. We had relatives that stayed in Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
Way
The
back.
Colemans.
Yeah.
And then Washington here in Albion.
Mm-hmm.
We all, double cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Wheeler, Coleman, in Ben Harbor. And, and my grandfather, he stayed right on Albion Street there. It was 4 of them. Would have been 5, but the Galloway, one of the Galloway daughters didn't go for my uncle to Coleman.
The Colemans that were in Marshall.
There
did
was
they
one
have a
that
farm?
wasn't.
No, they
No.
stayed out on the river over. In fact, it's the historical.
Yeah, it's a
home over there.
historical building. That
Okay.
one.
Oh, the one that just across from the cemetery?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Oh, yeah, I know that house.
Mhm.
I know
Okay.
that house.
That
The
was my
story of that
Uncle's
house.
town.
And do you know how long ago it was that he stayed in Marshall? What the
But all
big-
his kids went to school,
And they built that house.
and they built it.
Yeah, that goes way back into that's one of the families. Do you know the house when you were studying Marshall?
No.
It's just across from the building that the office there on the big Oak Lawn Cemetery.
Okay.
Going as you go on out of town on
Mm-hmm.
what is that road? You always catch Division out there.
Right.
And we go past that many times, but I do know the story of that house, and that's one of the families that that they were researching in that project you were working on, Bob.
Yeah. Well.
It's kind of a white, kind of stucco house, and it
Wow.
sits. You go straight. It's just as you go up the hill, you go to the left, and it's right there. It is a historic house.
Right.
Okay. Well.
Well, lots of history in
Yeah,
this.
we got a lot today.
You're very photogenic.
Oh,
Um,
Take
yeah.
good photos of you.
And